I was lucky enough to be involved from the start, and also chosen as the first captain, and to lead the team out in their first game in particular. It always entrenched in my mind against Manly, 30,000 at the game, playing the premiers of Clippy Lions, and it was just an honour to lead those boys out there, and obviously to come away with the win and have that first game. I think that set the benchmark, and it also set the benchmark for the town. They've been craving for a Winfield Cup team back then, right through the 80s, and to come to fruition, and to go to the ISC, as it was called back then. It was just an absolute honour. I'm lucky enough to have a couple of children that were born locally here, and they've both come back and sort of been involved in the juniors, been involved in the local sort of a hospital program. So look, Newcastle and the Knights I identify very, very closely with it, and it has a big part of my life. Yes, well, in the early days, when we first got here, back in 1987, BHP were going through some tough times, and so they laid a lot of people up to about 10,000 people, which was the lifeblood of Newcastle. Rio Tinto was a similar effect, about 6,500 I believe. In 1988 we had the earthquake, which devastated the inner city. Basically the whole inner city was cordoned off, as it's all made of double brick, and any vibration would sort of cause further collapse. And really the town was emotionally and physically hit with these two massive bombs, that it was on its knees. And back then, the only thing they had going for it was their footy team. And the Knights would go out there and absolutely just play our best for the town, and we knew they appreciated it. And every player back then spilt blood on that field, and it was for the town. And you can identify, you could see that the community really got behind their flagship, because everything around them was crumbling. But they had the Newcastle Knights, and we didn't win a lot of games, but we went out there, and it's a blue-collar town, and we played their style of footy. And it was probably mentioned before, that was we had 12 forwards and a fullback, and so that's how we played. But the town appreciated it, and for a moment there we could lift their spirits and give them something to look forward to. I think Newcastle is one of those rare towns where it can work. Give it the Gold Coast, Sydney, Brisbane, maybe not. Townsville's probably a similar place. Geographically, it can work, and because traditionally it's a blue-collar town, and rugby league's the only sport really, and so basically going on from what I said before, the community having a little piece of the pie, having a little bit of ownership there, and taking more of an interest in there. I suppose it's like putting when you back a horse for $1, you suddenly take an interest and you can wheel them on, and you just jump on and just try and get that horse over the line. Well, not to the same effect, but an actual interest in the team will just give that more boost, and it will just give them more encouragement to the players. I think if they can see and hear and get the pats on the back and the encouragement, because the team at the moment now, they've got the players, they just need to believe in themselves. And I think they'll believe in themselves if the town believes in them. So I think it's a great idea, and I certainly applaud and wish the committee all the best, and just hope everyone gets on board. There's a whole lot of people like myself that live away from the town at the moment, but we're red and blue, and we really support the Newcastle Knights, and I always will. And I'm just honoured to have been involved, and I just hope everyone gets behind it, because it's the right thing for Newcastle. Our Knights, one chance.